Number 4, school the staff. What staff you have and how you got to train them and so forth. So we'll do a short Q&A on this. When Kevin and I put this together, we decided, look, this is a whole program within itself. So we're not going to go in depth with this. But Kevin, if you could just give us sort of a broad overview of things to consider with schooling your staff.
Yeah, as we mentioned yesterday, and I'll reiterate today, is that you need to have all your ducks in a row at your current location. You need to have your school can run autonomously without you being present and efficiently for, obviously people checking in and making sure that they're doing the right thing or have any questions. So you need to make sure of that first. That's the first thing. You can't really go to the next step and start another location until you've got your current location fully functional without you being there. So that you just can't. It's not possible because you can't. You'll just wear yourself out, and it'll just be a mess. So for your second location, you need to then identify staff that's going to be working at that location, and they will come from your current location. And then you need to work out what roles they have and then commence the staff training for those people. Some of your current staff, as per the structure I showed for our school, will move up a rung, and the person that's in this role will come across and work at the new location. Sometimes you can take your key staff out of your current location for the first probably 6 to 8 weeks to help you get established and train up other staff down there. I've done that way before, but geez, you're flying by the seat of your pants. You really need to have everything set up before you start. Okay. And with that staff training, there you have 2 teams. You have your instructor team and your administration team. And I think yesterday I mentioned that we just start off with one administration person, lead instructor, and then a class instructor and an assistant instructor down there and at the new location until you get things established.
Perfect.
Assistant instructor, yeah. And your staff are really excited. You build the excitement at your current location. So, hey, guys, we're going to have some new friends to to train with. It really is a case of getting the excitement at your current location and then transferring that over. But you need to reiterate to your current location and staff and students and everyone else, the important thing is to make sure that they know that you're still, that's your principal location. This is a second location, but hey, I'm going to be working between the two, and you come down and train there and, make it really exciting for them.
Do you fast track students so they are high rank and instructors, or can low ranks be instructors?
I look at people who have been training for 6 to 12 months, and if I identify they're going to be a good communicator, I'll put them into a senior leadership training program, and then they'll be, by the time they get up to a competent level of martial arts skill for this program and syllabus they're in, they become an assistant instructor. So it's a bit of a slow process. There's certain organisations which, you've had 3 lessons and all of a sudden you're a black belt instructor. So anyway, we won't go down that conversation, but we have to maintain. If you don't maintain the level of proficiency and standards you have, everything will just implode and you'll lose everything. So you just need to make sure you've got a good instructor team who are quite skillful. Look, I've got some people in our organisation who have reached black belt. It takes about 4 years, 5 years on average to get there. And with no disrespect to them whatsoever, I wouldn't get them to teach my dog how to sit. And then I've got other people who have been training for 6 months who are excellent communicators. They may have a background in communication. And so I train them up. So they've already got that skill. So I add the martial arts side to it, so they're ready to go. So, look, I've seen when I was in Los Angeles, I went to a place and they hire actors to teach their kids' classes because they're animated, they're full of energy, they've got a base level of skill, and then they have a black belt overseeing them. And I thought, wow, I was really impressed. There was good standard and, so don't get caught up and you have to be a black belt or equivalent in whatever syllabus, you teach. to be an instructor, you just need to be a really good communicator, but you need to be overseen by a senior person. That's what we have, that senior instructor as a lead instructor.
Shane, when you say current location running itself, including grading, seminars, trial, or just
it's fully autonomous. If it's under license, it's fully autonomous. If it's under you do all that.
Perfect. All right. So want to go over some communication just with your staff and so forth. But for you in partners already, there's 2 resources you can dive in that covers this in depth. Brett Fenton, who's on the call here, the Instructor Team Blueprint, we put together a 6-week program that goes through this whole process of finding staff, training staff, and all this. So that's been covered in depth. If you're not in partners yet, we can chat about that, or you can actually purchase this as a standalone course, instructorteamblueprint.com. And also in partners, we have the leadership leverage that goes into depth on how to grow and nurture a leadership team. So that's already been covered. So dive into those for more in-depth info on this. I want to just shift over to just the daily report here. So communicating with your license holders, Kevin.
If they're yours, I get one of these each night, like a text comes in and just tells you a really, really brief issue. If there's an issue, I generally, so if you're owning that and operating that license, you just need a report, quick one like this. For all our locations, we try to have a Zoom at least a full, each term, 4 times a year, and then we have 4 face get-togethers. So we get together, that's 8 times a year. But also I talk to each location generally on a fortnightly basis, and we have a discussion like this. But I see all the stats coming in all the memberships come through the head office from all locations, and I can see stats. And then we have a monthly report put together, which is shared to show all the stats and figures across all locations so everyone can see how everyone else is doing. So you need to have those things in place as well to ensure you know what's going on. You don't want someone floundering when you could have easily helped by a simple conversation or, go over some issues they're having and all that sort of stuff. So once everything's running fairly smoothly, it's pretty autonomous. Sometimes I have a week of, yes, they do same CRM. Yep. Every now and then you don't hear and you think, well, that's great. And then all of a sudden, half a dozen locations have an issue and then you have a pretty busy week. And it's not because of bad management or anything. It's just unique things happen and they haven't experienced that before. And that's my role to make sure that, I can answer those questions or help guide them in the right direction.
Perfect.
Yes.
Ross, is
yes,
that
Ross.
in
Yes.
your license?
Yeah, that's in our license, Ross. Correct.
Any other questions in regards to communicating with license holders, reporting?
Yeah, sorry, just a quick one. Just back to my question. So when you're ready to open the second location or third location, so when you said the location is running by itself, I meant so when you're ready to open a second one, are the classes running by themselves, or is the whole location running, as in trials are organised, gradings are done?
Okay, yeah, sorry, Shane. Yeah. So it's autonomous. If it's under license, the person holds the license, does all that, does a lot, top to bottom. That's their location. It's independently run. If it's under you, then you have to do that. You have to organise that. So if you're the owner of that location, so including gradings, yep. For quality control, so just so to make sure if karate related, so your 2 belts before black belt in any syllabus, or we have black badge for some syllabuses, 2 levels before black belt, students can only grade at a camp, and that way we have a senior grading panel, which I sit on, and then we can get quality control across the whole organisation. So they grade to their next level, then they grade to their black belt 12 months later or black badge. So, but autonomously, instructors can grade right up to that level. Second Q for karate curve, people know that. so 2 belts before black belt. And that way, and they're really, really strict on the quality because they don't want to be the person at the grading where there's 200 people and everyone looks straight at that instructor and goes, well, why did that guy just fail? It's a self-propagating quality control system.
Sorry, mate. So if I'm ready to open a second location, so for my current one, do I need that one to be running 100% by itself?
No, you can still do okay, Shane, that's a different angle. you still do everything there that you need to do, okay? And if you're running the second location where you need to duplicate that service, or if it's under license, you make sure that license holder that does it exactly the same as you. Is that a clear explanation?
Yeah, that's fine. Yep. Thanks, mate.
Okay, thank you. No worries, Shane.
All right, perfect.